All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to our May 12, 2022 Roanoke County School Board meeting. And invite you to say the Pledge of Allegiance. You guys got to bear with me a little bit because our chairman's not here, so I got to call the meeting to order.
And call the roll.
And call the roll. That's why I have these guys helping me out a little bit. Madam Clerk.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Here.
Yes, ma'am. All right. I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 2.01, announcement of changes in the agenda. Do we have any?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. All right, moving on to 3.01, Student Advisory Council Senior Recognition Report, Ms. Emma Rashiro.
Not here.
She's not here tonight?
Oh.
Welcome.
Good evening, Dr. Nicely, members of the board. I'm Emma Roshorio, and I'm proud to say that I will be your senior representative for the Student Advisory Council in the upcoming school year. I look forward to seeing you all next year and working with you. Tonight, sadly, a majority of our seniors were unable to attend due to illness or other sporting events or leadership responsibilities, but tonight we have our two seniors from Cave Spring High School. So first up, we have this year's senior representative, Taylor Hrabowski. Please just say your name, your school, which I've gave, and then just some information about what you'll be doing in your upcoming years.
Hi.
Hello, Taylor. We know you, Taylor.
Yes, you know me. I'm Taylor Holoski. I go to Cave Spring High School, and next year I'll be attending James Madison University to study health sciences.
Nice.
And next we have another Cave Spring High School senior, Rachel Bathabani.
Hi, my name is Rachel Bathwabani. I am a senior at Cave Spring High School, and next year I'll be attending Johns Hopkins University to study cognitive science. Thank you.
Sure. I know Chuck would be disappointed if I didn't put you in the center toward the emblem right there on the side where I can see that.
One, two, three.
Congratulations.
She's back.
Yes, it's my turn again. All right. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Nicely. The Student Advisory Council held our annual Student Leadership Conference on April 29th here at Central. The conference started at 9 a.m., where every student that attended was allowed to participate in a yoga and mindful meditation session with Ms. Mills. This was an amazing start to the day, which allowed everyone to start the conference with a clear headspace. We then moved into small icebreaker groups with about 10 to 15 people from all the different schools so we could all get to know each other better. We started the main portion of our conference as we went into our desired breakout sessions with various guest speakers. They were all very hands-on and educational, so the students could learn more about mental health and good leadership skills. After the 3 breakout sessions, we then divided up by school and had a small meeting with our own school board member and addressed any concerns. We absolutely loved having you guys there with us, and it was awesome to give students outside of the SAC the opportunity to vocalize any concerns or comments. We then finished the day with closing remarks and the chance to win a prize by completing a conference-wide bingo. We also asked each person to complete a small survey so we could receive feedback for our next conference next year. Overall, it was an amazing experience for all, and I think everyone learned helpful mental health tools along with leadership skills to bring back to their own schools. I personally wanted to thank everyone involved in the school board and for everything you've done for the Student Advisory Council. I'm also beyond thankful for the opportunity to have been a part of this amazing community. I'll miss you guys. Thank you all for your continuous support of the Student Advisory Council and allowing the SAC to vocalize our input. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, Taylor. Taylor, thank you for everything that you've done for this, getting us all together and bringing us issues that the students had brought to, that were under concern for them. And we certainly, it takes a lot of leadership. And I look, when we had our meetings, I look at these kids and I think, I couldn't even speak in high school much. I was afraid, and speech class was awful. But, and now these kids are just leaders. So thank you for the, being the head of it, bringing the information to us. And good luck. Good luck in the future. Thank you.
Mr.
Greenway?
Yes, sir. I want to just echo what Mr. Ray said. It was a great session for us. I felt better about our time of learning from you than anything we brought to the table. But it was a wonderful time. We've already had some substantive discussions about some of the issues we talked about. Hopefully, Monday, we're going to have a follow-up. I haven't got the final from Ms. Newcomb, but hopefully Monday, we're going to have a meeting with the Byrd SAC folks and follow up and try and continue that conversation. But it was a wonderful event. I would thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. We're having our
Congratulations.
follow-up tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
All right, awesome.
Exactly.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much.
Ms. Vashani, did you have anything to say?
Well, I had my follow-up meeting today, but I'll save that for my final comments at the end. But Jessica and Sean were there, and we had a wonderful meeting with Mr. Whitlow and the students, and everything that was brought to the table really made me feel hopeful that we're headed in the right direction. And if you guys weren't leading the charge, we wouldn't be here. So I commend you all.
Yes, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah, but thank you for
Thank you.
everything that you have done. And this was my first year, obviously, and to sit with the students and hear firsthand how we can improve things, it was great. It was an honor to be there, and I look forward to making some changes over the next few months for next year. You guys really make a difference.
Thank you. We appreciate all of you guys. Y'all are awesome. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck next year.
All right, item 3.02, Career and Technical Student Organizations State Winners. Mr. Christian Kish, welcome.
Yeah, it's quite a crew tonight. Vice Chairman Hudson, members of the school board, Dr. Nicely, thank you for having us here this evening. In April, we took students involved in all three of our career and technical student organizations out of town to compete in state-level competitions. Tonight, we're here to celebrate all of the first-place winners in Skills USA, Future Business Leaders of America, and Family Career and Community Leaders of America, best known as FCCLA, state leadership competitions. These competitions allow our students to compare themselves in a variety of skills contests in competitions against other students in similar programs across the Commonwealth. And as you see tonight, our kids did quite well. I want to thank our lead advisors, Skills USA lead Mr. Jason Walls, FBLA lead Mr. John Worf, and FCCLA lead advisor Miss Amanda Kinzer. They put in a lot of work behind the scenes planning these events, coordinating buses, hotel rooms, who's staying with whom, getting these students to these state events, and they even take time out of their own weekends and spring breaks to let these opportunities happen for these students. In addition to those teachers, I want to thank Dr. Shanta and acknowledge her and her role as the Director for Center for Engineering for one of our winners. Mr. Tom Shelton was a teacher for our plumbing winner who cannot be here tonight. Mr. Baxter is the masonry teacher, and he helped one of our winners tonight get to where they got. And Mr. Burns in mechatronics and robotics for 3 of our winners tonight. And then Mr. Eric Salo for 2 of our winners tonight. They were instrumental in getting them the skills they needed to win at the highest level. I also want to acknowledge tonight that each of the 5 base schools are represented in this student group, and I think that's really neat. And finally, parents, I know all of you are behind me. Thank you for trusting us with your children. As you can see tonight, you've done a good job raising them. And now you have some extra bragging rights because your kids are state winners. That's always nice to be able to bring to a conversation about comparing kids. All right, so before we receive awards, I want to wish any students going to the national competition the best. FCCLA is going to San Diego in late June. FBLA is going to Chicago in late June, and Skills USA is going to Atlanta before that. So hopefully we can get you back up here and get you a recognition at the national level. So what we're going to do, since there are 3 separate CTSOs, is I'll go Skills USA first, and then we'll do FBLA and FCCLA. So we'll call those winners up, get a separate picture, and then they'll come back, and then the second group will come up, we'll get a second picture, so on and so forth. Sound good? All right, very good. All right, for Skills USA, Joel Hetherington, Related Technical Math. Going up. And Joel just, we're doing one at a time.
I'm gonna flash them fast.
Okay, and then just stay up there, Joel.
Yes, I want individual.
Not present tonight, but the state winner in plumbing was a female, Stacy Jo Cook. She could not be here tonight. Thank you. Gold medal winner in bricklaying is Nathaniel Hevener. Did Charles make it? Okay.
Oh, Nathan.
All right, finally in Skills USA, John Gagne, Tanner Montgomery, and not present Charles Slusher for occupational display. I'll take Charles. Thank you. Yes. All right, y'all come on back. Okay. All right, in our Future Business Leaders of America competitions, we have Ashley Tatum and Kenna Sarver, who is absent tonight for public service announcement. Yep. All right. And in computer game and simulation program, we have Neil Shah, Noah Tillman, and then absent is Holt Constance. Thank you. We'll get it right, Neil.
Do it again.
Yeah, we want to get it right. There we go. Absolutely. I've got a good feeling about their national competition chances, really. All right, and then finally in FBLA, we have Alice Crowder and Amy Leong for 3D animation. Well, all right. And finally, in FCCLA, we have Skylar Fitzgerald, Olivia Bott, and Dakota Vaughn in professional presentation.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, one big picture. Oh, wait. Get one big picture of everybody together. And John, you have to stand in the back. Oh.
Yes, sorry. You guys, I am not Mr. Lineberger, so you all come in.
So you should stand in the back.
You all are gonna have to switch together, even more than that. Okay, can you all kind of, Mr. Kish, get in the picture.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, I better.
Okay, you all kind of face this way. 1, 2, 3. Any other parents want to come up? Come on, you can come up.
Parents, I'd love to take pictures with your children down in the lobby.
That's okay. I just wanted to make, yes, I did, yeah. That's why I was curious.
Thank you, Mr. Kish. Congratulations to everyone. This just shows the importance of Burton and what we need to do moving forward and getting a new Burton built. Just amazing what you guys do. I follow on Facebook and keep up with everything, and it's just day after day, I feel like we have winners, and it's just awesome. Very proud of what you guys are doing out there. And you mentioned Mr. Walls. I got the opportunity to work with Mr. Walls years ago when I was working at the police department. Great guy. He's doing a good job out there, and still work with him today on some of the things for your students out at the courthouse and jail. It's great. You guys are just doing an awesome job. Thank you.
Good recommend, you do good recommend.
All right, item 3.03, recognition of National Scholastic Art Competition winners. Sarah Cubberly.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Nicely. This evening, I would like to recognize 2 students for their outstanding artistic accomplishments in the Scholastic Art and Writing Competition, the nation's longest-running and most prestigious program for creative teens. Each year, our CPS art teachers enter student work into the art competition. This year, at the regional level, our CPS art students won a total of 63 awards. From the regional level, the 11 Gold Keys and 3 American Visions nominees advanced to the national competition and were judged in New York City among hundreds of thousands of other pieces of art and writing. The 2 students who will be recognized tonight will be receiving a medal and honors through the national ceremony at Carnegie Hall in June. First, I would like to recognize Mary Wissinger. Mary, an 8th grade student at Cave Spring Middle School under the instruction of Miss Brooks Bousquet, won a national gold medal for her artwork entitled Feline Contemplation. I would also like to add that, to my knowledge, Mary may be the first middle school student in Roanoke County to win a national honor.
Wonderful.
Next, I would like to recognize Emma Lynn Sylvester Johnson, a Cave Spring High School senior in the Burton Center for Visual Arts and Museum Studies under the instruction of Miss Natalie Strum. Emma Lynn is the recipient of the highest honor in the competition, winning both a gold medal and an American Visions medal for her artwork entitled Beach Trip from a Distance. Please join me again in congratulating these students celebrating their artistic accomplishments.
Congratulations to both of you. It's a wonderful accomplishment. All right, item 3.04, recognition from the NAMM Foundation for the Best Communities for Music Education designation. Mr. Rick Elliott. Good evening.
Vice Chairman Hudson, School Board, Dr. Nicely. The National Association of Music Merchants recognizes and celebrates schools and school systems across the country. This recognition is based upon the community's support and commitment to music education and to its efforts to ensure access to music for all students as part of a well-rounded education. Research into music education continues to demonstrate educational, cognitive, and social skill benefits for children who make music. After 2 years of music education, researchers found that participants showed more substantial improvements in how the brain processes speech and reading scores than their less involved peers, and that students who are involved in music are not only more likely to graduate high school, but also to attend college as well. Everyday listening skills are stronger in musically trained children than in those without music training. Significantly, listening skills are closely tied to the ability to perceive speech in a noisy background, pay attention, and keep sounds in memory. Later in life, individuals who took music lessons as children show stronger neural processing of sound. Young adults and even older adults who have not played an instrument for up to 50 years show enhanced neural processing compared to their peers. Not to mention social benefits include conflict resolution, teamwork, skills, and how to give and receive constructive criticism. The rise in participation of students in this elective at the secondary level across this county illustrate the importance of this curriculum to the students, and it is directly tied to the tireless efforts of the music teachers of this school system. It is something that all the music educators in Roanoke County are proud of. It is through the continued support by the administration and the school board of Roanoke County Public Schools that has allowed this school system to earn this recognition for 18 years. Thank you.
All right. 3.05, recognition of All Virginia Middle School Honors Choir, All Virginia High School Choir, and All Virginia Band. Mr. Rick Elliott.
Several students could make it tonight and several could not because of many things that are going on musically and athletically tonight. I've asked two of the choir directors to come and talk about their students and how they were involved with this. First, I think Mr. Andrew Miller will speak first.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman, members of the school board, and Dr. Nicely. My name is Andrew Miller, and I'm the choral director at Hidden Valley High School as well as Hidden Valley Middle School. I'm going to speak on behalf of the high school choral singers here and Mr. Bartley to talk about the All Virginia Choir and the achievement of our 6 amazing high school choral students. Our students started their All Virginia Choir ambitions with a successful audition into the All District Choir back in November of 2021. As they prepared and performed a pre-selected song as well as a sight reading exercise, they were recorded, then scored by 2 judges and placed against other students in their voice part across the 6th district, which is a division determined by the Virginia Music Educators Association, or VMEA, consisting of 34 high schools from the Roanoke Valley, Botetourt, New River Valley, Lynchburg, Montgomery County, Allegheny, and other surrounding areas. These students, along with all of the others who made the All-District Choir, were eligible to then audition for the All-Virginia Choir, which is the all-state choir. And it only takes the top 2 to 4 singers in each voice part. There are 16 districts in Virginia, and each one sends 24 students to the All Virginia Choir, but no school is guaranteed a spot. Students must be a top singer to earn such an achievement. This year, 25% of District 6 who attended the All Virginia Choir were from Roanoke County Public Schools. Between Hidden Valley High School and William Byrd High School, 6 of our students were selected through audition to attend and participate in the All Virginia Choir. There are 2 ensembles that make up this choir, the SSAA Treble Choir, which are soprano and alto voices only, and the SATB Mixed Choir, which are soprano, alto, tenor, and bass voices. In total, there are 384 students across Virginia who were selected to attend and participate. Each ensemble rehearsed with highly reputable collegiate choral directors like Dr. Paul Head and Dr. Maggie Burke. Over those 3 days, they performed and rehearsed together. They performed 2 unbelievable in-person performances for their parents, teachers, and friends. So tonight I want to recognize 6 amazing, distinguished high school students for earning their place into the All Virginia Choir and representing Roanoke County Public Schools with excellence, passion, and creativity. Two of those students aren't here tonight. The first one is Oledo Anyanwu from William Byrd High School and Mariah Eakin from Hidden Valley High School. The ones that are here is Bethany Munsey from Hidden Valley High School. Maggie Rusinak from William Byrd High School. Simon Seeley from Hidden Valley High School. And Leah Tillman from Hidden Valley High School. Well, their voices are tired. It's been a long year.
No, she wants you in there. Both of them, please. Yep, all of you. We're gonna make this happen. You're very blessed in Roanoke County.
I think Mr. Bartley will speak on the All Virginia Middle School Honor Choir.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Welcome.
Members of the board, Dr. Nicely. I'm Matt Bartley. I'm the choir director at William Byrd Middle School and High School. Bradley Stump, the Cave Spring Middle and High School director, is helping run sound for the Northside choir concert tonight, so he's unable to be here. So I'm speaking on behalf of his students as well as mine. Middle school students who are in their school choirs are also eligible to participate in a middle school version of All Virginia Choir, with a few subtle differences from the high school event. Middle school students also auditioned for All District in the fall. Different directors have different prerequisites for those who may audition for All Virginia, but the first requirement for both Mr. Stump and myself was they must make and participate in All District Choir to audition for All Virginia. The audition consisted of submitting 2 different recorded excerpts, both done a cappella, without accompaniment. This is a difficult skill for middle schoolers especially that requires a proficiency in ear training, as a portion of the score requires to stay on pitch. While the high school audition had an allotted number per district, the middle school takes the top scores regardless of where they live in Virginia, making this a very elite opportunity. They're split into 2 choirs based on grade and voice part. 6th and 7th grade treble voices or higher voices are assigned to the treble choir. 8th grade treble voices and changed or lower voices are placed in the mixed choir. When at the event, which took place from April 21st to 23rd in Richmond, they gather with their assigned choirs and rehearse with nationally known guest clinicians. The weekend culminates in a concert of music that was rehearsed throughout the event. The 3 students who represented Roanoke County were 3 of only 350 middle school students across the entire state of Virginia. This is a very select choir when you consider the number of middle school choir students all throughout our state. Our Cave Spring Middle School delegates were both in the treble choir and are both siblings, and are Olivia Hypes, a 6th grader, and Ryan Landis, a 7th grader. Well, while they're moving, our middle school participant is unable to be here too. My high school and middle school participants are both involved in track, and apparently they were both knocked out and unable to be here because of track tonight. So her name is Aubrey Bruce, and she is an 8th grader at Williamsburg Middle School.
Squeeze in. Get right behind them. Perfect.
We hope to continue our tradition of excellence in music by encouraging our students to represent Roanoke County at state-level events like this. Thank you for your support as we continue to share music with our wonderful students.
Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chair, may I say something, Matt, real quick? I just want to say, and I'm not going to call you my catcher, because he was a catcher for us when he was 10 years old, and we had a good team too, didn't we? But Matt is one of the most passionate teachers, I think, in the county. He goes above and beyond. He tries to promote his programs. He promotes his children. And I just want to say thank you from the Vinton community and the Roanoke County community that you're a part of our group, because you are a wonderful teacher. And I hear this from many folks. This is not just me trying to blow smoke at you. This is from the community. So thank you.
I have one more. In the other discipline in music, representing the eastern part of the county at Glenver High School, we had a student in a junior make all-state band. The state of Virginia is divided, like Mr. Miller said, in 16 district regions that have auditions for all-district band. 2 bands are chosen, usually with about 500 children auditioning for 225 seats. The top chairs in the top band, only in the top band, qualify to audition for all Virginia band. This year, there were 774 wind and percussion students that auditioned for 2 bands and an orchestra. They met in Newport News at Christopher Newport the same weekend that the choirs met, the 21st to the 23rd of April. Nicholas Louvet, clarinet player at Glenver High School, was 14th clarinet out of 118 clarinets who auditioned. And he made the top band, the symphonic band. He is a junior, and it is quite an accomplishment, so I wanted to make sure that you knew about that. He is at a soccer match tonight, and his band director, Colt Campbell, is doing the band banquet, awards banquet tonight, so that's why he couldn't be here. So I thought I could share that with
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
It's
for your
amazing.
support.
Brent, can I just, Mr. Elliott, I have so many friends that speak so highly of you. I just want to give you a round of applause because what you've done with our kids in the county is just remarkable. And without you and your leadership and your passion, we wouldn't have the programs that we have. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. And I'll reiterate what this nice lady in the crowd said earlier. Our teachers are a blessing. We can easily see that they're out there every day teaching our children and giving them these opportunities and putting them in places where they can compete on a state and national level. And just thank you so much. All right, item 3.06, recognition of qualifying for DECA International Career Development Conference Business Finance Series, Mr. Joel Hetherington and Miss Jill Green and Miss Hillary Hedrick. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank
Nice
you.
to see you today.
Good evening, Vice Chairman Hudson, members of the board, and Dr. Nicely. Thank you for having us, and thank you for allowing me to join you to celebrate two very special Vikings. You have already had an opportunity to meet Joel, and then when I asked Miss Hedrick if she would join us, these two have spent a lot of time preparing Joel for this national competition, and Joel is just a sophomore for us. The only concern I have is all the time he's spending on the road, he's spending off the golf course, so we have to make sure we get that back out there as well. I am going to let Ms. Hedrick share with you exactly the wonderful opportunity that Joel has and how hard he has worked. I will tell you, there were many mornings that Joel beat both probably Mr. Morris and myself to Northside to get there to prepare for this, so we're really proud of him. Ms. Hedrick?
Good evening, everyone. I am Miss Hedrick. I have had the pleasure of being Joel's marketing teacher for the past 2 years. I think he's sticking with me next year, too, for sports and entertainment marketing. I'm going to tell you the good stuff tonight, the story behind what you can read on paper. But the first thing I wanted to start with is to explain a little bit of what DECA is. Hopefully you are familiar with it, but DECA is a student co-curricular organization for marketing students only. The goal of DECA is to create emerging leaders and entrepreneurs in business, marketing, management, and finance. So with that being said, we spend a lot of time with our students, and we also take them to competition to already prepare them for the business world. Last year, as a freshman, Joel came to me the last week of school and said, Miss Hedrick, what can I do to get to international career development competition next year in DECA? And I said, well, it's going to take a lot. What are you thinking about competing in? Business finance. Okay. Joel has never taken a personal finance class or any financial class at all, even still this year as a sophomore. But as you know, he is your math guy. And I said, okay. He said, I want you to give me all the materials that you have so I can study this summer, and can I email you? Sure, you can email me. And you know, we hear a lot of ambition, and he was like, my goal is to get to international career development competition next year. And I said, okay, let's do it. And so Joel practiced, he was ready. When he started at the beginning of the year, that's all I heard. I'm studying this, I'm looking at this. He competed in district. I knew district would not be a problem for him at all. He made it to state. State, they only advanced the top 9 there. He competed against 4,000 students at Virginia State DECA. Joel was in the top 7 in business finance. He is also competing against upperclassmen who have done this, some of them for 4 years. He advanced 2 international career development competition and competed against, or he was one of the 20,000 kids that got to international career development competition at the Falcon Stadium in Atlanta. I know you may be sitting there thinking, does she mean nationals? No, DECA is international. It is all 50 states. It is Canada, Guam, Puerto Rico, and Germany. Joel not only got there, he set a goal, he achieved it, and we have quite the emerging leader already in just this sophomore. So I'm so
impressive.
proud of him.
Good job, Joel.
Congratulations.
Good job, Joel.
Just want to say that's very impressive. I had kids that did DECA, and it was a big deal just to get to states. It was a big deal to win states. It was a big deal to get to ICDC. I mean, it's like the pinnacle. So, I mean, really cool. Wait till I tell my son I met an ICDC kid tonight. He's going to be really excited. And I think it builds a lot of camaraderie too. You meet kids from all over the world. Do you have a lot of pins? Do they exchange pins? Yeah, okay. It's a big deal. It's really cool. So congratulations. It's exciting.
Mr. Chairman, Joel, where'd you get your finance background? Has it got parents on that? Oh, okay, your sister. Okay, it was some connection there, but it's quite a hard field. We'll
Listening
see
to a
you
lot of
in the
Dave
future.
Ramsey.
That's awesome.
That is
We'll
awesome.
see.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Young man's going places for sure. Thank you. And what a great teacher. I'd like to recognize her tonight for that story she just gave.
Yes.
And, you know, a lot of times people make the statement, oh, teachers like having banker's hours, but it's really not. When you truly care about your students, like you just, that story of working throughout the summer and continuing on to give him what he needed to get where he's at. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the parents, because I know it takes a lot. You know, any kind of extracurricular activities take a lot of time, and especially when you go this route and spending that much time. So thank all of you.
Thank you. Item 3.07, recognition of State Fair Award winners, Miss Erin Barnett and Mr. Mark Levy. I'm sorry did I say your name okay? Yes, sir. Okay, I just want to make sure I had it correct. Yes,
I'll
sir.
probably mess it up in just a second. Good evening, board members and Dr. Nicely. I am just here to introduce Mr. Levy, as you've met before, so he can talk about our State Fair Award winners.
Board members, Dr. Nicely, I'm very glad to be here this evening to talk to you about 5 projects from Roanoke County who also attended the Roanoke Valley Governor's School and had success at the recent State Science and Engineering Fair that took place in April. So just for some background, students who complete science fair projects, which most people have a good feel for what those science fair projects are like, the projects that our students are completing are quite advanced, so they're a little bit more than your also wood and duct tape type projects, and they put a lot of work into that. They compete at school level fairs, district level fairs, and the regional level is really where the process picks up. We have students who receive first place at regional fair move on to the State Science and Engineering Fair, as well as 3 projects that receive direct trips to the International Science and Engineering Fair, which is actually taking place this week, and there's 3 Roanoke County projects who are competing right now. We'll be hearing about awards on Friday, so I hope to be able to see you again soon to be able to give you great news about that. But tonight we're talking about the State Science and Engineering Fair students, and so we've got 5 great projects that I'm happy to tell you about. So the first student who we're going to meet tonight is Sophia Shoemaker. She had a partner from Lord Botetourt, Katie Cross. One of the great things about the Governor's School, we're a regional program, and so students get to work with other students from all different districts. So she worked with someone from Lord Botetourt. So Sophia is an 11th grader from Cave Spring High School, and she received second place in plant sciences for their project Transient Genetic Transformation of Cuscuta campestris using arginine functionalized hydroxyapatites as a plasmid delivery vector. Quite a mouthful, right? Which basically what that means is they were doing some gene silencing in a parasitic plant with the hopes of increasing crop yield for the plant that the parasite would be infecting. And so that's the first student we have with us.
You may have to come back and explain what you know.
Good luck with that, right? We'll leave that to them.
Yeah.
Next project is a student who's not able to be here with us tonight because he is competing at the International Science Fair right now. That would be Abi Kari. He's a senior from Hidden Valley High School. He received an honorable mention in animal sciences at the State Science Fair for his project Collagen 4, an indicator of vascular formation and parasite recruitment. And what that means is essentially he was studying extracellular matrix around cells in low oxygen conditions, and that has applications towards diabetic-related diseases. And he worked with a lab at Virginia Tech Carilion Fralin Biomedical Research Institute. And I should mention that Sophia and her partner worked with a lab at Virginia Tech to complete their project. And so we're very proud of Abi, and we wish he could be here this evening, but we can get him the recognition when he returns, hopefully maybe he'll bring a little bit more with him. The next student that we want to recognize also is at the International Science and Engineering Fair. That'd be Rebecca Q. She's a junior from William Byrd High School, and she received an honorable mention in computational biology, bioinformatics, and translational medicine. Categories are difficult to say, not to mention the titles of the projects. But her project was a precision medicine approach in silico analysis of a novel anti-tumor peptide as a future targeted therapy. So she worked with a lab at Fralin Biomedical Research Institute. She did 3D modeling to determine an optimized form of a medication that can be used with brain tumors. So tremendous work, and a great student, also off competing at the International Science and Engineering Fair. Not on our recognition list for tonight, but I do want to note the third student you have at ISEF, the International Fair, is Caroline Grant, a senior from Hidden Valley. The next project we want to recognize is the team of Ella Bryant and Christina Okenquist. They're both seniors from Northside High School, and they received an honorable mention in biomedical and health sciences for their project, The Effect of RNA Interference on the Apoptosis of Small Cell Lung Carcinoma, which looked at the effect of silencing of 2 genes of interest in cell carcinoma to try to trigger cell death of these tumor cells. And the last project I want to talk to you about tonight, the student is unable to be here because she plays tennis, and they have a senior banquet for the tennis team. And this is Dhruvi Patel, a senior from Glenver High School. So that makes all 5 of the schools in the division who are represented out of 5 projects, which I think is pretty great. She competed in environmental engineering. She received a special award at the State Science Fair, second place from the American Waterworks Association, for her project, The Effect of Bioprinted Chlorella-Based Filtration Systems on Nitrate Concentration in Water. And what that basically means is she used 3D printed algae systems that she designed in order to clean up nitrogen pollution from water systems. Now, that's great that she was able to win that award, as well as she was an alternate grand award winner at the regional science fair. However, recently, even more significantly than those other awards, she was named the state winner from the Stockholm Junior Water Prize just this past week, which gets her a fully paid trip to Colorado to compete in their national competition. And so the Stockholm Junior Water Prize is the world's most prestigious high school competition for water-based projects. And so truly a tremendous honor. In my recollection, in my awareness, I don't think we've had any students from the region receive that state champion in that award before. So it's tremendous for her. So, great for students from all those 5 different schools. And it is certainly our honor at the Governor's School to be able to be, an extension of the services of Roanoke County. You've got great programs here. We're proud to be one of those excellent programs that we can help serve your students and provide them with opportunities like these students had this evening. So thank you for the opportunity to recognize these kids.
Thank you.
Mr. Levy? You're not going to get away that easy. Now, you know, I serve on that board, and it's really an honor. It's just amazing. I mean, you're talking things, biology, you're taking all these things that are, you think that the kids are getting out of college, and these are at the high school level. And you know, it's just you know, it's just amazing what goes on. And you know, I know Mr. Levy firsthand, and I know that he is dedicated to his job as director of the governor's school, and his main interest is the kids, and he can't go wrong when it's the students and what you do for the students. And you know, it just baffles me sometimes to know that all of this is going on over there, and that you're in charge of that. So, thank you for what you do, Aaron. Thank you for what you do. And it was an honor when we went to judging and to see some of those projects that, my goodness, these are things that are world changing. What they're coming up with, and they got the imagination, so it's just amazing. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All these recognitions tonight, it's just a reminder of we're doing something right. We're doing a great job. Our teachers, you guys are out on the front lines and just really making a difference for everybody. Thank you so much. Item 3.08, School Spotlight, Burlington Elementary School, Miss Beth Grimm.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chairman, board members, and Dr. Nicely. I'm excited to be here again for Spotlight on Schools. We have Miss Beth Grimm, who's the principal at Burlington. If she'd like to go ahead and step forward, I think she has brought some folks with her that she would like to share a little bit about her school.
Okay, I got it. Good morning, board members, Dr. Nicely, senior staff. Thank you for having me. I'll try to keep it brief. I get really excited, and I have lots of things I want to talk about. And when they asked us to pick some things that we were proud of at our school that we wanted to share, there really were so many. It took me a while to decide. One of the things that we've really been working on since we had a few things repressed with COVID, was really building our community back in the school, getting the families back in, getting everyone back in, and building that community that we so preciously needed. It's difficult to really know what you have until it's gone. And we really understood the appreciation of having our families in. And so we decided to kick things off with a books and build night. This was back in March, and I had two ladies, Miss Fisher and Miss Parrish, who led this for us. And my charge to them was find something fun and exciting that is family-driven that will bring the masses in. And we had 207 folks attend. It was standing room only. We had the Hollins Public Library come over. They helped families set up a time for their library cards and things for the summer to promote literacy. They gave away free prizes. Of course, we had food. We partnered with the Sheriff's Department, and Deputy Works came over and read some books to the children, which was very exciting. We also had someone from Virginia Tech come in and talk about coding to our families to try and tie in some STEM activities. Then we went to the main attraction with sort of like pseudo-STEM activities where children got to build. We had about 125 or 130 hammers all going at once. We were really excited about it because, not that women can't hammer, because I can, but one of the good things about it was we brought that aspect out, and we had so many fathers that came in and participated, and so it was a really exciting evening for us that night. And the whole gist of our night was to promote literacy, and so everyone walked away with a free book, so we were excited about that. So this is just our first step in bringing our school back to be the community and the hub that it is and has always been. What I wanted to spotlight tonight is our after-school program that we have with the Boys and Girls Club. Just a couple years ago, I met with Dr. Stegall and a couple other folks to talk about a need that we had at our school, and we recognized there was a need for affordable after-school care. We had the ASK program through Parks and Rec department, and it was a phenomenal program. We just did not have enough participants and didn't quite meet the needs that we had. We were looking for after-school supervision, assistance with homework, academic support, and summer opportunities. So believe it or not, my son is 25, and many, many years ago, he participated in the Boys and Girls Club when it was at Bonsack Elementary. And I had such a good experience with that as a mother. I drew from that and sought those people out to see if it was something that we could emulate. I also knew that they provided some free and affordable opportunities for children in the city and some other localities. And so I thought it was something that I wanted to at least investigate to see if we could bring it our way. Some of the barriers that we were finding in our school community for after-school care were some financial types of barriers, transportation, availability of community programs, and language barriers. I have a very high population of families who have English as a second language, and we certainly help those families navigate the school system. Accessing after-school care, they don't always have those opportunities, and so it's a little bit more difficult for them to access that service, to find affordable care and the ones that are appropriate for their children. So when we spoke with Ms. Nash from the Boys and Girls Club, she came to me and told me a little bit about their mission. And it is basically for to enable young people, especially those who need us the most, to realize their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. And of course, that caught my attention. Their belief system is a safe place to learn and grow, ongoing relationships with caring adults and professionals, enhanced learning programs and character development experiences, and to instill hope and opportunity. And they went on to share with me a little bit about what they like to instill in children. And that is a sense of competence, usefulness, belonging, and a power of influence. And that really partnered well with our PBIS program and the initiative that we have going. And so it was a really nice fit. So we partnered with them, and they have a grant writer, and they wrote a competitive grant. And we actually were awarded the grant. And I have some businesses here that either give in-kind funding or actual monetary funding to help financially support our program. Our Boys and Girls Club program meets in the school every day after school, obviously. But some of the programs and the opportunities that our children have that may be atypical for after-school programs is there's academic enrichment during non-school hours. They have targeted academic support to the child, not just towards a curriculum or towards subjects in a school. They have enrichment programs. I've seen vets come in, I've seen fire departments come in, lots of community partnerships just to come in and give children opportunities to experience these things they may not necessarily have the opportunity to do so. There's family training and resources, which has been very beneficial for my families who have English as a second language. We have free tuition, which was phenomenal. That was one of the main barriers that we had for appropriate after-school care. We provide transportation. That was written into the grant, and Roanoke County runs a bus for where students are clustered in certain locations. They have free transportation in the afternoons. It extends into the summer, which is another need for supervised care, and they also have a feeding program, and the children are provided meals and snacks. What is the one of the things for me that is most phenomenal about this program is the richness of it. You can go into any after-school program, and there's going to be folks there that love children and care for children and meet their basic needs. Boys and Girls Club goes above and beyond that. And some of the staff members they have is their unit director, which is Sarah Jones that I have with me today. And I'm fortunate enough to have her in my building during the majority of the school day. So we have constant conversation and communication about the program and the children that are involved. There's a youth development person, and that person works on developing curriculum, working with the staff to make sure that they're providing adequate instruction and leadership to the students. So that's another supervisory type of role. They also hire qualified tutors, many of which are teachers and qualified instructional assistants that I have in my building during the day, and they work in the afternoon. And there's 4 or 5 of those. And they actually work on skills that our teachers tell them that our children need. We look at data, we look at report cards, we look at homework. We go and have a communication set up, which is through the curriculum coordinator or the liaison, who is the connection between the school and the after-school care program and sort of facilitates what needs to be done to reach each children and their potential, particularly in the area of academics. So as you can see, it's a very deep, rich program other than just your basic supervision. So we're very happy about that. And what we're seeing are the results. We are seeing happy, well-adjusted children. I love having them in the buildings in the afternoon. We see completed homework. We see a partnership with classroom teachers to target academic areas. And we see parent support in navigating care for all of our families. So it has been a great experience. We have a little over 20 children now, which through our last conversation, we can go up to 50, but they're like many other businesses. They're struggling in hiring staff. So as they're able to do that, we will certainly add to the number of students we're able to provide care to in the afternoon. And I could continue to talk and share, but I brought Ayanna Harris with me today, who is a young lady who participates in the program, and she would like to share with you a few of her thoughts and feelings about our after-school Boys and Girls Club.
I personally like Boys and Girls Club because I can meet new people and learn new things. I've gotten many new friends because of Boys and Girls Club. I also enjoy being able to do my homework with friends and tutors. Doing homework alone can be a lot. Another reason I enjoy going is the help it gives to students and their parents. Many parents work outside of school hours. The after-school program gives us a safe place to learn and have fun. In Boys and Girls Club, I've tried things I would never try outside school, so that means new experiences, such as during this, we tried food from South America and Asia, different peppers, and even cricket.
I didn't know about that.
We've also done several arts and crafts, science projects, and worked to understand each other more through Youth for Unity. I'm also very excited for summer camp. We will be going hiking to science centers and climbing a rope course. Thank you all for your time and learning about more about my experience at Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I wanted to recognize her family. Her family came with her tonight to provide support. So thank you so much for coming. I know it was a long wait, but you did a great job with that. And she's an amazing young lady. And I'd like to thank her and also Miss Jones, our director, who was here in case there was any questions I didn't know the answer to. So have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Grimm. Just love the creativity that we get to see with these school spotlights. It's every elementary school just literally has something new and something different that is tailored to their students, and I just love being able to see that. That's awesome.
I love that they thought outside the box and partner with the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah,
It's the first I've heard of that. I love the Boys and Girls Club. It's an excellent, excellent organization. If you have any extra time to give them some money or to volunteer, it's an excellent organization. They do a lot for our communities.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, sir. Yeah, Ms. Grimm? I got to give you a plug because I was with Ms. Grimm at Clearbrook for a while, and I tell you, the dedication that she has and what she can get out of these students is amazing. And you went to a perfect place that you really needed to get the most out of these kids, and you are. And it has gone. I mean, you have brought it along, and it's really great of whether some of the things that you have brought innovatively to and for the benefit of the students there at Burlington. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Grimm. All right, item 4.01, hearing of citizens' delegations. We do not have none tonight. We don't have any tonight. So number 5, consent agenda.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. On to item 6.01, election of deputy clerk. At this time, I would like to make a motion to appoint Ms. Edie York as deputy clerk for the school board effective immediately. This is to fill the vacancy due to the retirement of Mrs. Purdue. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've known Edie for a long time. Welcome aboard, Edie. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Edie, would you like to take a picture with the school board? I can't believe you would not like to take a Okay.
Congratulations, Evie.
Absolutely. We're happy to have
We
you.
could get a picture without the school board.
I got it now.
It's a big deal.
All right, sounds good. This might be the only picture we get of you, Edie.
I'm gonna mess it up intentionally because she left me.
Pretty much.
I know, right?
We're deep in that department.
Multi-talented over here.
All right, item 6.02, mobile classroom unit pricing. Mr. Chris Lowe. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Nicely. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. I'm here to provide you information about mobile classroom budget cost for four of our schools, Back Creek, Glen Cove, Clearbrook, and W.E. Cundiff. So we've been requested to provide a cost for replacing the existing mobile classrooms within the county and adding mobile classrooms to W.E. Cundiff. Currently, mobile classrooms exist at Back Creek, Glen Cove, and Clearbrook, and staff has acquired the following information. For a cost of $84,716 per unit, we can receive 4 mobile units. Well, that's per mobile unit, I'm sorry. All engineer drawings of the building, blocking plan, and decking would be provided by the vendor. The delivery of the units to Roanoke sites would be part of the vendor's scope. Mobilizing the units on site and block and level with ABS pads and dry stack block atop suitable existing surface. All interior and exterior seaming, anchors per code, install full skirting, and install pre-engineered decks, ramps, and stairs. So basically, they would move these mobile classrooms onto our existing sites and have them set up for us. What we've requested is the vendor at this time believes that the mobile classrooms can be delivered and installed by July 15th if we were given direction to proceed. Our intention would be to work closely with the vendor to ensure a July 15th deadline can be achieved and only proceed with the number of units that we are certain that can meet that deadline. If it cannot, then we would plan for installation in the summer of 2023. The cost for the 5 mobile classrooms would be $423,580. I'm also requesting an additional $10,000 to remove the 4 existing mobile units off those 3 sites. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If they get started on time, how long does it take to put a unit? I know they did a whole Field of Dreams over at Cave Spring High School in the mud.
In the mud, yes,
but,
sir.
It seems like if you're doing individually, it could be a doable thing. Am I not correct?
Yes, sir. I believe you're correct. Once one of it's 2 pieces. Once the 2 pieces arrive on site, it usually takes about 7 days from start to finish to get them seamed together and anchored and on block. And then, of course, we would have a little bit of work to do after that, which is why we had the July 15th date, just making sure that our electric and our internet services are tied to them.
And is there any additional electrical needs that you would have to do for the upgraded units versus the older units?
No, sir. Our existing services are adequate. We do have to provide a new service at W.E. Cundiff, though, since we do not have an existing unit out there.
And that would be underground or overhead?
It would probably be most likely be overhead, since these come to masts that are mounted to the side of the units.
Okay. And will these have the ramps
Yes,
that
sir.
are handicap accessible?
Yes, sir.
And
That
the
is
metal-
required by code.
The metal ramps?
Yes, sir.
We don't have to worry about all this rotting wood and splinters and all that stuff?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move forward with the item 6.02 mobile classroom
Second.
as presented.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Item
Thank you.
7 point, thank you. Item 7.01, surplus items. Again, Mr. Crislow.
So we have two double-stacked ovens that we're requesting to put on the surplus list for next month. We'd like to bring it back for consent agenda at the May 26th school board meeting, so we're just requesting permission to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. 8.01, report by Mr. Ken Nicely. Sorry, Dr. Nicely.
I'll answer to anything, Mr. Hudson. Thank you, sir. Members of the board. I'll try to keep this brief, but I do want to highlight several things, and a lot of these things have you've seen this evening. But it has been exciting to whether it's Books and Bike event over at Conduff, the events at Burlington. So many of the schools are really doing a great job of having events. Getting not only the students involved but also parents out. It's just really great to see parents reconnecting with those various events, including concerts and the different productions. Enjoyed the Center for Performing Arts production from Burton Center. They actually did it at Cave Spring High School recently. I thought they just did a fantastic job. And of course, you heard about the great performances and achievements of our other musicians. So really great to see the other programs at Burton Center related to Skills USA and the different marketing programs being highlighted. Our CTE programs are so crucial to providing those pathways that students need post-graduation. And so whether it's at their base schools or we still want to push for support for a renovated Burton Center, a new Burton Center, to adequately house those students. We're just excited about what they're already doing, even in their facilities, and looking forward to the day where they can have the facilities they need for that. Speaking of our CTE programs, just want to remind everybody that our student registered apprenticeship signing. So we're all used to signing to sign up for sports teams and go to play in college. Where we also have a signing event for students who are going to sign to work as apprentices, in area businesses. And so that event will be next week, May 20th, held again up at the Salem Red Sox park, and then can enjoy a baseball game afterwards. But just we're there to celebrate our students and then thank our businesses for investing in our Roanoke County students. And so looking forward to that. Reminder, we're also celebrating next week all of our retirees from Roanoke County Public Schools and all their many, many years of dedicated service to our school system. And that'll be, of course, coming up on Tuesday, May 17th. And just thanks so much, these retirees, for all their many years of dedicated service. Also, just want to give a quick shout out to our Education Foundation, our Roanoke County Public Schools Education Foundation, and for all the many ways that those folks, through volunteer efforts and fundraising, support our schools. We recently had our Golden Apple Awards, and of course that's our equivalent to Teacher of the Year Award. And the winner will actually go on to represent us in the Roanoke County Salem Chamber, and also be nominated for the State Teacher of the Year Award as well. So I want to highlight and first of all thank the Education Foundation for all their efforts in raising money to support that program. But give a shout out to those who are recognized. So, of course, again, our Green Apple Award, which is a newer teacher, was Tracy Addison from Williamsburg Middle School. And then our Red Apple winners, you met or saw again Matt Bartley from Williamsburg Middle School and Williamsburg High School this evening in the music program, was a Red Apple winner. Missy Perulis at Bonsack Elementary was our elementary winner. And then Brian Harris from Hidden Valley High School was our high school winner. And then of course, Golden Apple, our Teacher of the Year, was Amber Benson from Northside Middle School. And they just all do a phenomenal job. And they just represent all the other 1,200 plus teachers that we have teaching in Roanoke County schools who do a great job in and every day. I don't normally tell you where to eat on any given day or where to eat, but on Tuesday, before the banquet, make sure to eat lunch over at the Tanglewood area at the Panda Express. Show your code in support of the Education Foundation. And the 50% of the proceeds that day go to the Education Foundation for anybody who shows their flyer or the code with that. So I just want to give a plug for that fundraiser for the Education Foundation and again, thank them. At our next meeting on May 26th, we'll actually have just celebrated the graduation of all of our high school seniors from all 5 schools. Those, of course, exercises will take place on May 24th and 25th. So this time at our next meeting, we'll have something really incredible to celebrate, and that is graduating another senior class from Roanoke County Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nicely. Item 9.01, reports and inquiries of board members. Mr. Greenway, you go first.
Sure. Jeff, when you get a minute. Jeff Terry. I need the, we can get there in just a second. Let me go through, well, no, let me do that first because I want to get the bad out of it. So, as you all know, I'm speaking to the board mostly. You know, it was sent out through an email. I wish he was here because I've told him this, and I would tell it to him. I wish he was here for me to tell it to him personally in front of everybody. It was said that we exaggerated the baseball field. I know we're going to all try and get out there to see it, but these are a few of the pictures of what's coming out of the baseball field. This was the, and I'm saying this out loud, I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but that vendor, I hope, never works in Roanoke County again. Sue me. But when you leave trash, so our kids are out there, this was when they were supposed to be practicing, they're out there cleaning the field, re-dragging it, and you can see in the grass, that was from the worm that ate the grass. Now it's greened up. You don't see it as bad now, but it's still all, it's all clumped. So that's the infield. This is the lip where they did grade it from the rain. It's blended as best as it can into the outfield. These aren't great pictures, but, and we didn't take these recently. These were ones that were in the camera before. This is on the field. That's the first base side, which is the good side. And then here's and this is hard to see. These are our drainage ditches from where we have the lake. Like if you go down there this weekend, and that one's not bad. But if you go down there this weekend, this is not a rec field. This is our one field that we have for our teams. There you see the drainage ditches a little better that we put in. You know, we dig these out every time it rains because we have to get the water out of the field. It doesn't drain properly. And so this is every time after this weekend, they'll spend a couple days trying to get it playable. So that's it. So I wanted to bring those pictures at least. And again, I didn't take, these aren't pictures that we prepared for this. That was just pictures that we had. And I want to say this, one of the reasons David says not to, that, he can't spend this is because we're looking at BCAT. That's bull crap. Are we just not going to spend, are we going to just let the schools set like they are until we get BCAT? And we've seen time and time again, delay. If one of you come to me with a field issue, as you did, and we said we need to put Bermuda down to fix that field, I believe you, and I'm going to trust but verify, that's fine, but I'm going to take that issue and be supportive of it. Mike, we asked for a couple $100,000 to put a classroom outside at Cave Spring. What did I say? Let's do it. Other items that you've asked, and I've been supportive. Brent, you haven't been here long, but Don did the same thing, and I've been supportive. David's done the same thing, and I've been supportive. I can't help that his constituents, well, it's not really his constituents, but the folks out there want a turf field. And they want, and he's the one that brought the idea because of pressure he was getting on the turf baseball field. If we can't spend 50, we certainly can't spend 250 on each one, right? So I don't know what changed from the time we went out there and visited the field when he agreed and stood above me on the infield to the time he wrote that email stating that he didn't think we should spend any money on these fields. We can just do Band-Aids on it, which is what we did on the north side field. Band-Aids are ways to say we're going to go back and spend this 2 or 3 times and not do it right the first time. Let's do things right. I think we're going to see we're going to lose coaches this year over these field issues. We've been told that. And I think we're going to have a couple of baseball coaches probably in your area, that's going to turn over after this season. So I'm probably being a little too explicit, but it's frustrating. You saw from my email, it's frustrating that, this issue has lingered for over a year, and he's been in the discussions. We've had these discussions. He had an opportunity at the work session in April. All of us had that opportunity to say, this isn't something we should do. Nobody spoke up. Nobody said anything. So it's frustrating. There's no question. I'm frustrated. But, when somebody else wants something in their area, and it should be, we should look after each other. I'll say this. If the others are jealous that we would get something fixed on ours, let's do it on all of them. We ought to be equitable. So I'm fine with that. But let's not let these fields dilapidate, deteriorate, and the coaches not want to be there because of the work they have to put into these things. It's ridiculous. We've done it for 35 years and not got a penny from the county to do our field. And the minute we try to fix it and make it and be prideful in the community and get this fixed, there's a hiccup. It's frustrating, and I do hold David accountable. So with that said, I'm putting the negative behind us and go to the positive. BCAT, William Byrd High School student. I don't exactly understand it because I saw it at the last minute, but was student of the year at BCAT. Anybody? No? Did you see that, Debbie? Yep. Okay, so good. So that was awesome. So they announced those, I guess, yesterday or today? Last week? But that's wonderful for, all those students that participated. Let's see. Wanted to ask Dr. McClung, we were going to have that meeting for with SAC Monday. Was it her? Yeah. So I guess I can email her and ask her. They had asked me a couple of days ago if Monday would work, and I said yes. So I wanted to ask her that. I'll put that down to email. Boys and Girls Club, do we have any idea what our numbers are for Benton? I heard her say 20, only because of limitations with workforce.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many attend the club in Benton, but that was also funded by that same 21st Century grant that Boys and Girls Club Youth Initiative. And of course, that serves both of the Benton schools, which is great. We provide transportation from the school down to the site because it's not at one of those schools.
Miss Grimm was right.
Yeah, and Ms. Grimm, she really championed that. And of course, working with Michelle Davis from Boys and Girls Club, they just done a fantastic job just trying to meet the needs of the community. So
I'd love to see what those numbers are, and I would go down there. So they're so protective, which they should be, not to let folks in and so forth. And I don't know some of the workers, but if we could get those numbers, that would be great. Also, wanted to congratulate at this time a lot of the college students are graduating, and that's wonderful to hear. Some of these kids that we've seen in SAC or different ones that have come up here before us are starting to graduate college, and we're hearing more and more about that, and what wonderful things to get back to normal. My daughter graduated at JMU today, Master of Science in Nurse Practitioner, and so it's great to see these kids that we're seeing evolve to college graduating. Looking forward to our graduations before next meeting. And the last thing is I went with RCEA representative over to our bus lot, and they were handing out goodies and promoting RCEA at our bus lot in Benton. I think this was last Thursday around 4 o'clock when the bus drivers were coming in. And it reminded me of, and it was a good event, and they were very positive and, letting them know that they represent all employees. But it reminded me, we had a 51-year bus driver. I can't remember if she's retiring, but it brought back to the retirement issue how much talent every year we lose to retirement. It is amazing how we replace that on an annual basis. always been amazed at that. We haven't had it for the last couple of years. And I almost wonder if we should go back and catch those guys, give them a lunch or something, because we didn't get to do it. But there are years and years of these people that we lose, and it's amazing how they get replaced. And somebody plugs back in, and I don't know that you ever replace them to the level that they've given us of their lives, but wonderful, wonderful people that you meet that retire from this organization, teach our kids. So I appreciate them, and was happy to meet this lady at our bus lot. And there were many of them. It was so quick, I didn't get a lot of names. But thank you, and I'm looking forward to graduation to be a culmination of this year. And we were pretty normal last year at this time for graduation, but it will really be normal this year. So it's a wonderful thing. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Mr. Shawnee?
Thanks, Tim. So last week was Teacher Appreciation Week. I took the opportunity to tour a lot of my schools. I got to all of them, and I had some great visits. I was able to thank a lot of the teachers personally and meet with some of my principals. And I know that the teachers felt the love from their local PTSOs who brought in lots of treats, and they expressed their gratitude for being appreciated. So it was, many of them said it was nice to be appreciated. They work tirelessly every day, and I think with all the wonderful students that we see come through here, it's a testament to our schools and the fabulous job that our teachers are doing, our community's doing in bringing up these fine young champions in life, and really talk about being opportunity ready. I think we saw that today. I don't know if anybody's, I also was there on a Friday, and I got to see some of my lunch heroes. The people that work in the cafeteria, that's a tough job day in and day out, and they're really working hard. I got a lot of feedback from them that they really would like to see lunches continued. A lot of people like these lunches that they're doing. I had a bunch of people ask me that. But they're doing more meals than they've ever done before. And they're turning it out, and they're fast, and they're efficient, and they're effective, and they're doing a great job. So I was able to thank them too. I don't know if too many people know this, and I think I mentioned this to Ken, but I want to congratulate us as a division because U.S. News and World Report this year ranked 2 of our Roanoke County public schools in the top 50 of Virginia schools. So we made it the top 50. That's Hidden Valley High School and Cave Spring High School in the top 50 schools in the state of Virginia. And I think it's something to be very proud of. It's fantastic. And obviously you can see all the students that are coming up here and winning awards. There's no surprise. The Golden Apple and the Red Apple Awards, that was my first, Ken. That was a pretty cool thing. We had a fantastic turnout. I'd like to see us maybe change our venue. We talked about that a little bit. I think it was a really cool event, and I loved seeing all the teachers and their families there, celebrating them. It was a great event. Lastly, I do want to thank Jessica has gone, and so has I don't see Sean Hughes here anymore, Dr. McClung and Dr. Hughes, but I just want to commend them both. They work so diligently. And with the mental health that our students are dealing with, from the gamut from cyberbullying to suicidality, anxiety, stress, depression, you name it, and just letting students know that they matter and their voices are being heard. And I see this great effort being put forth by this team. And I met today with the Student Advisory Council, and it was really a very fruitful meeting. I was able to hear from the students. We came up with a good idea, and I'll just share it with you, to have a blackout day where we are off of social media. And so anyway, it was really, I just want to commend them on their professional leadership, and I think they're really taking the charge. And I want to applaud the Student Advisory Council for really coming together and bringing this to everybody's attention, because I think it's an important issue, and I'm really happy that I was a part of that meeting today.
That's a great idea.
That was my idea, Tim.
Really?
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
it
I
had to be
did.
something.
No, it was my idea. I swear to God. I'll tell you why. just off the cuff. So my daughter Bella goes to type 1 diabetes camp every year. And I picked her up last year from camp. She got in the car and I said, "How was camp?" You know, chit-chatting. And she said, "Oh, it is such a relief, Mom, not to have to deal with my social media account." And I went, "What?" And she said, "Yeah, it's a lot. Like every day you have to keep up with who you like, who you do this, who you do that. And you got to follow it." And to have 1 week where she was completely unplugged, she felt rejuvenated. And these kids are just so glued in. And we talked about that today. And they said, "Yeah, that would be a really cool idea." And I think it's, you know, that fear of being left out, the FOMO, is that what they call it? So, and lastly, Burlington Elementary, that was super cool. Boys and Girls Club, I've known them well. I've worked with them in the past, and I think it's really special. They do offer a safe place for learning and growth, and they truly instill hope in our community. And to think that they got a grant and partnered, I think it's really special. Lastly, the ICDC, Joel, super duper impressed with that young man and everybody who came up here tonight. And I'm looking forward to graduation. I've got a son who's graduating this year, and I'll be out there and I'll be excited to grab a picture with him and Ken, and looking forward to it. So let's pray for some good weather. And thank you all. I think it's been a great year, or end of the school year for me on the school board, and I love our team. I think we're all working really well together, and it's a pleasure and it's an honor to serve.
Thank you, Mr. Shawnee. Mr. Ray?
Thank you. Great words, Ms. Fashani, and certainly that unplugged day sounds very interesting, and certainly probably a lot of more kids than you think would enjoy that. I'm sure maybe we can make it happen. You know, I'd like the Godspeed play, and it was all the schools participated. And I was there on opening night, which sometimes you think, you know, you go to opening night, it's a few jitters. Not that night. Those kids, if you closed your eyes, you would think you were in New York City on Broadway. That's how good these kids were. And to remember their lines, you did not see a hiccup anywhere. And it was amazing the talent that we have in Roanoke County and our students. It's just, you heard tonight, we all heard tonight. It just sort of, you go, wow, you know, all that's happening. I met with our Clearbrook PTA a couple weeks ago now, and it was interesting. They had a room full. They were having a tour. Since some of the kids had never been in the school for 2 years, they'd been at, you know, virtual learning, so they hadn't even been in the school. So it was really an exciting time. You know, the principal, Ms. Noel, she's very creative. She looks for innovative ways to involve the parents. And a great PTA president, and it was certainly a good night. And I let them fire questions at me, from budget to water to flooding to everything that they could think of that they wanted to ask. So it's really interesting. And it's really, when you're out there with the people and the students, it's just amazing what you can find out and what they really want to know. Thank you, fellow board members, for the learning cottages. We know that they are certainly a valuable part of our educational process, and we can move forward now with some of those things. Congratulations, Ms. Fashani, having a graduate that you can shake hands with, and certainly, give them their diploma, and it's certainly an experience that you'll never forget, and they'll never forget. So we all are looking forward to that and being able to get back to the Civic Center for a normal graduation. So that certainly will be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. I think that, I look forward tomorrow to meet with my SAC group and hearing from the middle school and the high school, and it'll be very interesting to hear the comments from that. And I think they're in an invaluable organization when we bring the students on board to tell us things that are happening, things that they see that nobody else sees. I mean, even teachers may not see these things. Maybe, the parents might not see certain things that are happening. And so we just want to be able for them to open up to us. I think that's the key to it. They need somebody that they feel they can talk to and open up to and maybe get something done. So I look forward to what and bringing forward what I have tomorrow with the meeting there. So, thank you, and I look forward to visiting some of the schools next week. And thank you, Mr. Greenway, for bringing forward your slides with you tonight. And certainly, we get to see firsthand, so we'll be out there. So. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. I should have started out with this, but Mr. Linden couldn't be here tonight because he lost a close friend. So ask that you keep him and his family in your prayers as they travel back from, I believe, out west. He lost a close friend and attended the funeral today. The recognitions, wow, it's just amazing to see how successful our kids are, not only on a local level, but a state, national, and even international level. It's just a testament to our staff and the dedication. To listen to Ms. Hedrick talk about how that student had all of that ambition, and then she didn't just give up on him and say, hey, it's summer. She stopped and took time throughout her summer to help this kid just become successful on an international level. It's just amazing the things that our staff is doing, and very proud of them. And that's why I'm a champion of making sure that we're compensating them fairly. And that branches off upon what Mr. Greenway said with our 30-year plus employees, our retirement, our retirees and things like that. I want to make sure that we're paying our people all the way through the pay scale equally. Graduation's very exciting. Can't wait to attend a couple, and really looking forward to that. And hopefully, on another note, the state will get our budget together pretty soon, and we can address some of these issues like Mr. Greenway's talking about. And I think it's a great time for all of us to go out and look at not only William Byrd's field, but all of our fields, because I've learned here recently that if there's a problem in one place, it may be a problem somewhere else. It may be a systemic issue, and we need to go out and take a look at everything. And I know each school is different, and I've spoken with some of the folks at Glenver and Northside, and some of the issues at Northside are a little different than the issues at Glenver. And I think it's a good time during the summer for all of us to evaluate our athletic fields and all of our facilities to see where we're lagging behind and what we can do to get everybody comparable across the board. I think it's important that we all have safe, nice fields and facilities that are basically comparable across the board. The SAC, I attended that. It was great to hear from the students, to actually hear from the students' mouths that, hey, this is where we feel like you're falling behind. That's great, because a lot of times as adults, we're looking at things from a business perspective. We're not always looking at it from the perspective of the person that we're serving. So it was great to hear firsthand some of the things that we can improve upon. So I'm really looking forward to following up with those students and getting some of that's a small request that they had fixed to hopefully make it better for next year. And I believe that's all I've got tonight. And welcome, Edie. It was nice to recognize you tonight. Thank you for taking a picture with us.
We know you're going to frame it and put it on.
Everybody have a good night. Meeting adjourned.
Yeah.
Screensaver. Screensaver. Perfect.